Hi, this is Don Devilack. You have reached the eighth video in the video series Pumping Up Sales called Creating Memorable Marketing Materials. Inventors really need to stand out when it comes to all phases of their invention, really, because they're not a big company. People don't know who they are, and it's a tough job to get in there with the bigger companies who also have a lot of new products that they'd like to put on the shelves. Now, this is sort of our table of contents for the rest of the video. It's creating an identity, in other words, branding. How do you get an identity for your company? How do you get people to remember who you are? How do you actually have a presence in the marketplace that people notice? How do you get attention? How do you get those customer hot buttons? How do you identify the target customers' hot buttons and really make your materials fit them? You want to be interesting if at all possible, telling stories. Always, as I've talked about quite a few times in this series, you want to be you versus me. You want all your materials and all of your slogans and everything really to reflect around what the customer is feeling, not what you're feeling. It's about not about the product, it's about what the customer needs, what their solutions are. You want to have great and numerous visuals, but you want to have only really one big visual. You don't want to have too much copy. The more you can tell a story with a picture, the better off you are. Try to tell people something they don't know is another strategy to really create some memorable messages. And if you can put together a program coordinating with Facebook, YouTube, and other social media. Again, if you're really not experienced with this, freelance sites, just say social media expert or social media freelancer, and there'll be people who really know how to work those markets for you. And last, if you can with your materials, try to create some sort of action. Go to a YouTube video, go to your website, go somewhere and get a coupon that they can use to cut the price. Anything you can get to actually create the person taking the next step really towards moving to buy your product. Creating an entity, this is the first start. What you want to have is a very clear image of what your product is, why people should buy. Do you want to have relatedness between you and your end user? You want the end user to feel that you're kind of part of their group, that you're not a separate company. You want to match your customer's self-image. So therefore, if you're looking for a product that people are buying because it's easy to use, you want your name to reflect that. You want the product to look like it's easy to use. If you want a product that solves a specific problem, you want those features that really solve that problem to stand out, and you want the name to really stand out and say that. You want logans and slogans, and you really want to bring it all together in a convincing way. And here you have your brochure designers, your graphic artists. They're experienced. Consider using some of them for your freelancer. You can use an advertising agency, or you can really try to do it yourself. Start saving brochures when you go to shows that really brand the product well. Really make the people know what the product is and why they should buy it. You'll see as you go around shows, and it's kind of an instructive case that even if it's a local show, or it's a local sports show, pick up all the information. Notice how often the products brochures are very much me oriented than you oriented. Even if you start making it you oriented, you're starting to give relatedness. Here's an example of a product that I thought had good, kind of worked the whole system pretty well. It's called the Australian 3 Minute Miracle. And what it is, it's a hair conditioner, and you're putting it into your hair. And what it does is it gives you body. It makes your body of your hair much more thicker. Now, I really don't know if this product works that well, but I liked his program. One, it was a black gunky hair conditioner, so right away it was different. Now, it turns out that product didn't have to be black. It could have been, white or another color, but the inventor thought, well, I've got to differentiate that this product's really different, that it does something, that other ones don't do, and also it establishes an identity for the product that it's black. So then the miracle, he uses that term miracle, and he adds some mystery about the appearance. So you're looking at a product that's unsimilar to what you've seen. He's promising a miracle. And the blacky look, well, that sounded Pretty ominous, but in fact, people really embrace the appearance. It's something different. There must be something to the story. And he put a little story on the package about how he designed the product, how he found this. He was out in the woods and got some kind of special um, ingredients that somehow fell together for him. And he used the picture of his family, so he had a lot of personal touch. And the slogan was just great body. So the great body, of course, was referring to the condition and what your hair was going to look like. So he tried to really work the system to provide really a lot of information that separated the product, created a strong identity, and really helped the inventor really get the product on the market and get a good start. So if you want to get attention, how do you get attention? It's never a product feature, it's always emotion. I mean, look at Red Bull and the extreme sports. It's all about, boom, 5 hour energy, or they're all talking about, the danger, or, what this is going to do for you. They don't talk about it's an energy drink and that's it. It's all about what the energy does for you to perform better. Really, you need clarity. You have to, one of the things we talked about earlier was your product strategy and your competitive advantage, and video 5 in this section. Well, you should be able to do that in less than 8 words. Well, now you're not going to do that in less than 8 words right off the top. You're going to have to work at it and really try moving the words around and doing a lot of different things in different times. But if you can get under 8 words with a real clear message, then you're really on the way to getting a memorable message. Visuals, and again, it's what does the people accomplish with your product, not what does the product look like. Showing the results of the product is number one. Showing what the product is like is number two. Again, solutions over problems. Instant tire repair is one that I like. They don't really emphasize the flat tire. They emphasize how you can fix the tire in about 20 seconds. So again, it's beyond the positive that you're a product that's very positive, not eliminating the negative, and you're better off. And then the power phrases, again, from a customer point of view. So you have here to use new patented nozzle snaps onto the air valve to cut repair time. So what kind of a power phrase is that for our instant tire repair? Not very good. It's all about me. It's all about the product, and it's nothing really about the user. The second one, easy to use even when you're cold and wet and tired. So that's a much better message. It's much more you. It's much more targeting, something that the end user is really going to have some type of emotional response to. Again, your literature should be interesting. They should want to read the article, and rarely do they want to read about all your product features. So when you're talking about relatedness, how you're related to the end user, that's always good. Stories about how you came up with the product, as long as it's not a real long story, or stories about how you use it or how your friends use it, things like that. Graphics and style, make your graphics look fun, make them interesting, and make them colorful. Again, put on your literature tie-ins to Facebook or YouTube videos or other Facebook media. I really like the YouTube video tie-in because there you can really have a fun video, or you can actually have a demonstration video. But you can have videos that really are helpful. Short bursts or asides, if you look at a literature and they'll have a little box on it where they have some little interesting fact that calls your attention to that box to make you want to read it. It's also good to use those. I like those. They can emphasize points that you really want to make without getting carried away. Now again, it does not, a lot of inventors, they have this thing, they got to put down 15 features on their brochure, and they think, oh, if listing 15 features, this really is going to sell my product. Well, going into all the features, some of them which are probably not all that fabulous, aren't nearly as great as really capturing the essence of what the product is like and what it does for the end user. You really want to concentrate on that rather than concentrate on your product features. Again, you versus me. I told this to you about the instant tire repair. New patented nozzle snaps onto the air valve to cut repair time. That's definitely me. It's about my product. Easy to use even when you're cold, wet, and tired. That's definitely you. You is at least 3 times more effective than me, and I think it's more like 10. Um, Take a Nordic Track. Looked at a Nordic Track ad today, and I saw it said only one machine equals a balanced workout. Well, you know what? That's a me advertisement. It's about the machine. It's not about the user. They'd be a much better tagline for them. Up your energy with a perfect workout. See, then it's really talking about you. You're up in your energy levels, and you're still making the point that it's a perfect workout. So you're not denying your product's feature, but you're recasting that feature into a benefit for the end user. Try to be the customer's point of view throughout. Remember, people buying products because of what the product will do for them. They're not really buying the product because of your features, but they interpret those features into what the product will do for them. Well, isn't it much better for you to actually take the initiative and actually figure out what the product will do for them and then teach that to the end user? Now, of course, on your visuals, you want one big visual, a solution for the end user, or the user using your product and being happy, something related to the user. You do need a product picture, but 2 or 3 showing the product, but they should not dominate the material. Remember the emphasis on you. If at all possible, use YouTube video. You don't have to have it there. Just say, hey, check out our videos on YouTube and list what their address is. Happy faces using the product is always great, and again, solutions over problems. Another tactic that's commonly used is telling people something they don't know. That always gets their interest, and they're looking at it for a variety of reasons, but people always want to know something new. You can, like for instance, here's a line, you can look this good for less than you think. All right, so again, it invites people in. It doesn't give them all the information, invites them in to read more. You can have your sales letters read by 80% more people, or your sales emails. Learn how and why. 3 simple tactics for creating a designer edge. Have your material sizzle. That might be a tagline for someone who does brochure work. The feature that will make your fellow flyers jealous. Again, you're not talking about you're talking, me, you're talking about you, the customer, and you're giving them some reason that they'll want to read this because you're tying into their emotional response about why they would want to buy the products. And 2 features that cut PPAP discomfort. Now, PPAP is, these are the machines you use if you have trouble breathing at night. And, you put the mask on with all this gear and it's not that comfortable. So if you would go to the internet sites, this is by far the favorite tactic on internet stories when they want you to send you an ad or something and they're trying to get you to open up the website. They're promising to tell you something they don't know. Unfortunately, most of them don't deliver anything information. They just have a great title, but you really want to work a little bit harder and actually have your product or your marketing message really deliver something people don't know and use that to really promote your product. You have fan pages on Facebook, community groups of end users, and all. You'll have links to complimentary product Facebook pages. You should be contacting all these complimentary products pages, their internet site, their Facebook pages, and set up that you have links back and forth so that you can get people to their site and they can get people to your site. It adds to your allure of a product, and it really makes your product do a lot better. Videos for how the product works, but also try to post videos that you find about the community, videos from other manufacturers or other marketers who have complementary products that work well with yours that kind of show issues. And remember, you're a community. You're not just selling your product in your set, but you do sell your product by being a part of the community. And you can join the relevant LinkedIn groups. This is very powerful, especially if you have a product geared towards younger users or younger end users. You really need to be up on your toes for Facebook. And if you don't know how to do that, again, go to those freelance sites. Now create action. When you're all done and you want, you've convinced them to do something, try to create action. So you can ask them to go see a video. and if you can have them, that video be on your website even, so that then you can ask them to buy the product. You can ask them to visit your website or a retail store or some other store where they can buy the product. You can send them to your Facebook page. You can list stores that carry the product. You can offer a coupon if they use the code at a store or at your website or somewhere else where maybe the code is good for like a week or even a day. You can ask them to join a newsletter or an email list, or you can offer to give them something free. So, for instance, you can offer to give them an article of some sort that is really pertinent to your product or your community or what you're doing, the solution you're solving. You can ask them to sign up for Twitter updates, and you can ask them to sign up for your Facebook fan club. Everything you do to kind of cement your relationship, and then you want to send them you want to have balanced approach when you're keeping people going on this create an action where you're not just overwhelmingly buy today, buy the day, buy today, but you're also providing information about the community. You're providing them information maybe about some groups that exist, that they might be interested in joining, and you provide them more material that helps them really solve their problem or be more involved in whatever it is has brought them to your product.